What's going on, my brothers? It's Jeff L. Heffer reporting in live. I was just about to cook my food, and then I thought to myself, I wonder if the brothers know what is a good quality nutritional meal, what a good quality nutritional meal looks like. I've studied nutrition for quite some time. I know quite a lot about eating and eating correctly. I also know about poor diet. Being a formerly morbidly obese person myself, I used to be very fat, very large. Thankfully, I'm not that anymore, but I still remember how I used to eat and what I used to eat like. And so I thought it would be pertinent of me to show you guys the difference between a good quality and a bad quality meal, and really where I focus on eating healthy. The specific one thing I look for in deciding whether something is a truly healthy or unhealthy meal. Now, believe it or not, it isn't fats, it isn't carbohydrates or sugars, it isn't proteins even. All of those things are important. The nutritional label of the food that you're eating is important. But the number one thing I look for when I'm choosing my meals is ingredients. The ingredients list of the meal itself. That to me is the number one key component that I use to determine whether a meal is healthy or whether it's not healthy. The reason being, my brothers, is that many foods nowadays are processed foods. This particular name for processed foods means that the food is no longer natural. It's undergone some form of procedure, some particular processing methods in order to change it from its natural state into, the type of food that you might find in the supermarket. Food that can last 2 to 3 weeks, food that is tastier, different colors, particularly high in sugars, fats, and sometimes not even so. Sometimes they will process foods in order to make them, just last forever, in order to make them easier to freeze, in order to make them easier to store, to eat, to digest. Many different reasons. So I've got with me 2 potential meals. I'll flip you guys around. Now these are pretty standard meals if you live in the UK. Here I've got a pasta bake chicken. So you can see I've got the actual pasta shapes. I've got the sauce. It looks pretty healthy actually. See how green it is? See all the little tomatoes? It looks very healthy, doesn't it? Just you wait. I've got some chicken breast, and then I've got here some, let's say, sauce, just put on the side. Garlic and herb dip, nothing too crazy. Doesn't look too bad, does it? It's shit, boys. It's all shit. Over here, I've got an alternate meal. I've got a tin of sardines, a potato, which has been sat in the cupboard for some time, so it started to grow eyes, frozen vegetables, tomato puree, and some herbs and spices, and some olive oil. This, this doesn't really look like a meal as it is, I know, but this is going to be a far tastier and also healthier meal, which will also be cheaper than this. Let me explain to you exactly why. First, with regards to the health. Here, if you exclude, let's say, these herbs and spices, because all these are really doing is flavouring, but it's all natural stuff, salt, chili powder, onion granules, nothing processed. Okay, but let's just say we exclude that. Altogether, we can trace that. This is just going to be a sauce, but leave that to the side for a sec. How many ingredients are here? You've got peas, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, potato, sardines. Now, these sardines are processed, believe it or not. They have got other ingredients than just sardines in there. But I'm going to wash those other ingredients off. I'll put them under the tap, rinse away the tomato puree, water, sunflower oil, and salt, and I'll leave just the sardines in there. So, altogether, 6 ingredients. 7 if you include the tomato puree. Here, how many ingredients do you boys think? Well, you may just think it's just 4. Well, if you exclude the sauce, it's just 3. Well, it's not. Let's look at the back. Where is it? There it is. There's your ingredients list for the sauce. Now you may be thinking, Jeff, that's not all too bad, is it? Well, boys, you tell me if you find antioxidants, sodium, how do you even say that? Ascorbate, or what else we got? Sodium nitrate, modified maize starch. What else we got? Molasses. I don't know what this stuff is. Maybe it's not so bad, but that's a big fucking ingredients list, boys. Too big. Considering it's just meant to be tomato sauce with pepperoni, red peppers, and spices. That's what it's meant to be. doesn't look like that when you look at the ingredients list. Shit. Because I'm saying it's shit because I could make the same thing using chopped tomatoes and then these spices here, basically. I can make the exact same sauce. Add a bit of cheese in there if I want to make it, a bit creamier. So easy to do without any of the preservatives like salt and sugar. Then we've got here wheat, semolina, and wheat flours. Not too bad. It will spike your insulin massively because that's just, basically eating sugar. But, not the end of the world. People have eaten that for decades. Now this chicken looks good, doesn't it? It's frozen chicken. It's frozen. That is 80% chicken, 15% water, and 5% salt. So it looks like chicken, it looks healthy, it's frozen chicken. And in order to freeze the chicken, and so it retains its succulence, they've added extra water and extra salt to it. It's processed. I know it looks like a chicken breast, boys. Trust me, you can see some of the water coming off now as it defrosts. That's not juices I'm getting on my fingers, that's water. It's water, because the water defrosts before the meat. So, yeah, that's your one meal, all right, versus this other meal. And I bet just upon my analysis, you can guess which one of these I'm going to cook. Now, you might be thinking, Jeff, well, that pasta bake, it takes way less time to cook. You just have to whack the pasta in the frying pan and then put the chicken in the oven and then boom, put it all in the pot together, pull the sauce on top, put it in the oven for 20 minutes, you're done. Yeah, true. But this food that I'm going to cook is going to take even less time than that, and it's going to taste far nicer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my potato whilst I talk to you guys. Mainly I'm just chopping off the eyes right now because I don't really want to eat that. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay. Now, the reason I was inspired to do this video, guys, is because many people, I used to eat a lot of shit food. Many people I love eat terribly. They have terrible diets. They eat crap. And they're often fooled by marketing. They'll see something in the supermarket and it will have green on it, or it will have pictures of fruit. This is guilty of both. Pictures of fruit and it's got green going around the outside. It's designed to trick you. I studied marketing extensively. I've got a master's degree in... I'm not going to go into my personal life too much. I'm well qualified to understand marketing, and I just want to say that particular product, because that's what it is, it's not a food, it's a product, is designed to manipulate you and your underlying perceptions of what health and nature is into purchasing shit and then consuming it and thinking that you're being healthy. It's so common nowadays to see people bulking saying, yeah, bro, I'm just going to eat, pasta and beef and then chicken and rice and chicken and pasta and chicken and blah, blah, pasta and this and pasta. Pasta's not bad. Pasta has its place in bulking 100%, has its place in, all types of sports. I used to do a lot of marathon running and pasta's good then as well. But I don't know, it's the sauces, it's the extra stuff that goes with it. If you want to spike your insulin eating pasta, it's fine. But then you have to look at everything else that's going in there as well and ask yourself, is this really what I want to consume? I personally wouldn't. I think if you put a mound of, let's go with sodium ascorbate. If you put a mound of that in front of me and say, lick it, I'm not going to lick it. If you put a massive blob of modified maize starch in your hand and someone says, take a bite, you're not going to take a bite of it, are you? Just because they disguise it in the food doesn't make it food. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Now you may be saying, Jeff, but maize starch is technically a food, it's maize. Yeah, it's modified maize starch, boys. It's not natural. You're damaging your own health by eating that stuff. Now, here are the sardines. As I said, not going to eat them yet. I'm just going to wash away all that stuff that was in there. I think it was tomato puree, salt, sunflower oil. There we go. Easy. Okay, now I'm going to fry my sardines. The apartment's going to stink for the rest of the day. Where's my bin bag? There it is. Yeah, the apartment's going to stink for the rest of the day now, but it'll be fine. See ya. You can on my mind, so like Beautiful. What I'm doing now, I'll flip you guys around. You can't actually see anything I'm doing. You're just hearing me talk. So what I've done is I've put the sardines and the vegetables in the frying pan, chopped up my potatoes, and now I'm about to sprinkle on the herbs and whatnot onto the potatoes. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, that meal looks absolutely rancid. Why on earth would anyone want to eat that? It's fair criticism, you know, fair criticism. Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna sprinkle all my herbs and whatnot on, and then we'll take a little video once it's all cooked and on the plate, ready to go. And if you still think it looks gross, then that's fair enough. But it's worth mentioning, if you don't like white potato, swap it for sweet potato. If you don't like mixed vegetables, put peas on your plate. Put carrots, only carrots on your plate. Put parsnips on your plate. If you don't like sardines, have it with tuna instead. If you don't like tuna, have it with real chicken. If you don't like chicken, have it with beef. You know, there are so many alternatives, but the basic premise is, boys, that this sort of dish is so easy to do, and yet nobody does it because they think that eating healthy has to be expensive, has to be complicated. But really, it's so easy to do. I mean, I'm already pretty much done with the prep. I just need to pour olive oil over the top now with my potatoes. There we go. Nice. Now I'll just shaking them up. Let me flip you guys around so you can see this. See here? The potato is pretty much ready now. Now I just whack these in the oven for 30 minutes, turn this on for 10 minutes, and then it's all done. So in 30 minutes time, I'll press record again. I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. And then you can tell me if it's something you'd eat. But as I said, even if you wouldn't eat the fish, swap it for the chicken. If you wouldn't eat these particular vegetables, swap it for the vegetables you would eat. If you wouldn't eat this potato, swap it for sweet potato or any other potato of your choosing. Or have carrots or something instead. There are so many alternatives to this. You don't have to eat this. You can have this basic meal, which takes literally 20, 30 minutes to cook. I mean, maybe 5 extra minutes for prep, but that's it. That's ready to go now, so I have to put it in the oven, turn this on. This takes probably, I'd say, double the amount of time, and it's shit, boys, okay? That's the basic premise of what I'm trying to get across here. It's easy to eat healthy, it's cheap to eat healthy, and it's quick. You just have to know what to do. And I hope that with this basic 3 ingredient, you know, but it's not really just 3, but with this essentially 3 ingredient menu, you can customize it and personalize it to suit your own dietary preferences. So if you don't like white potato, have sweet potato. You don't like the fish, swap it for another fish, swap it for chicken, swap it for beef, swap it for pork, whatever you want. The point being, it's cheap, it's healthy, it's quick. I'm gonna turn it off now and I'll see you guys in, I guess, 5 seconds for you, 30 minutes for me when I'm eating this. So see you guys in a minute. All right, boys, so just finished cooking, everything's ready. That took 28 minutes in the oven for the potatoes, and then, yeah, 30 minutes in total. It's taking everything off the frying pan and put it on the plate. So, there it is. Very quick, very easy. I mean, it looks actually pretty gross. It looks brown and colourless, but I'm not joking, it's gonna taste delicious. The potatoes are gonna be very hot, but they're very good. They're very nice. The sardines, I poured a bit of tomato puree in there. Same with the vegetables and mixed it together. That's why it has a bit of an orangey colour within both, but you know, it's delicioso, I think. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Cheap, easy. I think all of that together costs less than £1 because a tin of sardines is under 50p, it's around 47p. A potato is around 28 pence. And like, let's say that's a quarter of a bag of frozen vegetables. A frozen bag of vegetables is £1. So that costs 25p. So altogether, this meal costs under £1 as well. So you're basically eating your tea for under £1. Eating your dinner, whatever you want to call it. Super cheap, super quick, super easy, super healthy. And yeah, that's what I've got to say. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to make you guys aware that you can eat proper food for a proper price, you know, without it taking all day. Because I think that's the biggest misconception is people think you have to cook all day, but you don't. Whilst that was all doing, I went away and cleaned up, and then I came back and did it. So Yeah, I served it up, sorry. So now all I have to do is eat it, and then I'm going to exercise in about an hour. So, hasta luego, and see you guys tomorrow. Adios.